Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another quick review. I decided to chat about Pacific Rim The Black. This is a Netflix series. It came out a while ago. Was it before Christmas? I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember when it came out. It, it's fairly recent, though. It's definitely been out the last year. Um, but so much stuff's been happening, and it's only recently I'm able to sort of sit down and let myself relax and watch stuff that I've been wanting to watch for a long time. Um, and this was one of the ones I was putting on hold only because this is a series that's it's set in the same universe. I think it's just a sequel. It just carries on the story um, from the really really good film Pacific Rim. It came out a couple of years ago by Guillermo del Toro, and it's just so good. It's just like so much anime inspiration from it. Giant robots, giant monsters. It's great. The sequel came out. I think it was called Uprising. And it did star John Boyega, Finn from the new Star Wars films, and he was good. Uh, but it just wasn't as memorable. It wasn't as gritty. And I know they were going like the story made sense for it going forward. Everything's being repaired, bright new future, and all that stuff. But yeah, it just wasn't as tense. It wasn't as entertaining. I think I've got it on Blu-ray, but I don't think I've watched it since I've seen it in the cinema. The first one is just still so good. The music, oh, that theme is probably one of my favorite themes. Um, and yeah, they announced that they were doing an anime series. I was like, great. And the reason they put me off watching it was because it was CGI, because it was computer generated anime. Still the style of anime, Japanese animation, but it was CGI. And over the years, that kind of anime for me, it just I don't like it, and I don't think a lot of people do. Um, I did start watching it in that Ultraman series that was on Netflix. I think I'm halfway through that. I still haven't finished that. I mean, I like that. It's interesting. It's weird, and the action's pretty cool. I haven't finished watching it though. And there was those god awful looking Godzilla ones, and I think there's another Godzilla one coming out. Made like a trilogy of films, and it was just awful. Not just the animation style, but the characters and the Godzilla monster, and oh, it was just terrible. Um, so yeah, it really put me off me watching this. Hey, from the moment I'm recording this right now, I watched the entire series the night before. It's only like 6 episodes, I think, or eight. I think it's eight, and I was hooked. I love it. It's really good. I was shocked. Um, it takes place in Australia, and it's about a brother and sister. They go looking for their parents, who were that's my phone going off again. Um, yeah, their parents were Jaeger pilots. That's Jaeger is the name of the giant robot mech things. Um, and they like leave a city or something, and they go and hide out in the outback, whatever. Um, and they leave him there. Shush, phone. um, and they leave him there while they go and get help and try and find a way to leave Australia, because pretty much the continent is lost. So that's already pretty big. It's like, whoa, okay. Um, but then it's been like 5 years. This I think the sister, she just thinks the parents are dead. The brother just doesn't matter. He's like, we gotta stay here. I gotta look after you. They will be back. But they discover a Jaeger robot, coincidentally, underneath where they are living. I don't know if that's just bad writing or just what, but I know that the parents must have known because they walked them there, so they must have known it was there somewhere. Maybe I don't know, but I'll go with it. And it happens to be a training Jaeger. It's what they use for the cadets, so it's got no weapons on it. Um, so they get in it, and they are just making their way to Sydney. That's where their parents said they were going, so that's where they're heading. They meet some new characters, some really interesting ones. They meet this young boy who has got really weird powers. But it added something to this world and to this universe and this story, and I was like, whoa, okay, this is something now. I'm really into this. And then just as I got into it, and then they revealed something else, kind of, and then it ends. Thankfully, they have said, there is another season coming. So thank God. Yeah, I was really surprised. And the animation doesn't bother me. It's done really well. It's smooth, and the action's great. Um, it didn't put me off. So if there's anybody out there like me, and I think there are a lot of people, especially with fans of anime and the style, and if you're put off by CGI, give this one a chance. I'll just say that. Just give it a chance. Um, they end up meeting characters. There's like smaller kaiju as well, like these giant wolf style ones. I wasn't a fan of them. The idea of kaiju, like the word kaiju, I think means giant lizard monster thing. So this universe is based off of giant mechs defending the world against giant monsters. So when you've got the kids running through a city and I mean, yeah, okay, they're still a threat, but I don't know. It takes away from it. That's just a personal nitpick of mine. Just give me kaiju, giant beasties. Just give us that. The designs of the little ones were that great. They were just scaly wolves with really long tails, and they glowed bit blue. It was nothing amazing. Um, they do introduce this other concept though, which was introduced in the Uprising film, and I liked that. I did like that, and and it's cool that they're expanding on it in this, in a better way. And they meet and I did wonder at first as well. Ooh, just move the mic. I did wonder at first because they said it's taking place in Australia, and I was thinking, okay, this is kind of cool because we could get some sort of Australian style Jaegers inspired by, what are they called? The Outback people. I'm sorry, I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, but then when I found out like these characters are American, I was like, why are they American? Why are there Americans in Australia? And so I was kind of gutted by that. I mean, you do hear some Australians, but then the only Australians that just occurred to me. The only Australians that you hear are bad guys. So why? Why? Fine, set in Australia. Give yourself Australian characters. Australian actors. It's like, yeah, we got Australian characters. Oh, great. Yeah, but they're the bad guys. They're really, really dickish bad guys. It's like, oh, for God's sake. So yeah, they dropped the ball with that one. There's even a side character, Maya. I can't remember her name. Sorry. And they talk about her a little bit and her kind of backstory. I'm thinking, okay, so why wasn't she also Australian? Apparently, a lot of Americans have migrated to Australia during this time, and yeah, that's probably true. But still, just give me some Australians, bit of diversity. Come on. I like the Jaeger design. The color is very colorful. I like it. The kaiju. I like the kaiju's in this. Um, the they're little bits. One or two of them. Actually, no, I think both of them. That was the thing about Pacific Rim, and even the new Godzilla films. When you see these giant monsters, they show the weight and the scale, so they move slow because they're big. So I kind of wish they got that across in this. I mean, they did it in the film, you know, so they could have done it here. Um, Other than that, it's if you like I don't know how to really sell this to anyone. If you like the first film, then you might like this one because you could probably forget about the second one if you weren't that fussed on it, and you could just jump straight to the series. I don't think you're gonna miss much. They literally mention the second film in passing when you meet a certain thing, and they mention the actually I think they call it the Uprising War. I think. And I can't remember a war happening in that film. It was just a generic, like, kaiju attack. If that's what they want to call it, fine. Um, but yeah, you could probably just watch the first film, enjoy that first film, and then you could just jump straight to this. You haven't got to watch a second film to enjoy this. You really haven't. Unless they bring something in the second season. But really, if you're going to bring anything in, bring it from the bloody first film. Or just keep doing what you're doing and expand. Because they introduced this gang, and they're collecting eggs from a particular kaiju, and they're meant to be giving it to somebody to trade for something, and they mention the sisters, and you get a glimpse of these sisters at the end, and they're just mysterious. We have no idea what they're about, what they mean, why they want the eggs. It just leaves you guessing. So we're kind of gotta wait, which kind of sucks, but I'm very interested. I'm invested again, and I liked the chemistry between the brother and the sister, and the new character May. Sorry, I can't remember her name. That doesn't mean she's bad. I'm just saying. I just can't remember her name because I'm useless with names. But I do like the brother and sister. I really, really like them when they're connecting, when they're upset, when they're accompanying each other, when they're showing support for each other. And the AI who is in the Jaeger, she's funny. Nola, was that Nola or Lola or something? It was something like that. She was really funny. There's just one funny scene. I don't care if it spoils, but the Jaeger's left on its own. So they're not in it. They're not piloting it. The Jaeger is just stood there, um, and the giant. If you look at this picture, it's the Jaeger to the left of the. It's the kaiju to the left of the Jaeger, the one that's looking up into the sky. I think they call it Copperhead. Um, they fight it a couple of times, and then they fight it at the end, and it sees the Jaeger, and it just starts charging towards it, and then the sensors go off inside the Jaeger, and the AI is just like, I'm sure she just says something like, of course. She just said something along that line, and then it just like, tackled it, and I laughed out loud to that. That was really funny. So I'm loving the AI. She's probably my favourite character. But yeah, overall, I mean, there's not much to say about it because it is really short. It's 8 episodes. There was a shocking death towards the end, and I was genuinely shocked and gutted. And the way it was done, it was good. It was well done, but I'm gutted it happened because I was interested to learn more about that character and get to know him a bit more. So I was a bit gutted by that. Um, yeah, I mean, and the sisters got a lot to deal with as well because they inadvertently lead a kaiju to the settlement they're hiding out in, and it ends up killing everyone. So that's something else she's got to deal with. So they put a lot of weight on the kids, and yeah, I think it's really good. It's acted well. The bad guy, he acts really well. Um, it's colourful. It's not too dark and gritty, even though that was one of the big draws to the first one. Because even though that was dark, it still had some colour to it, in a weird way. And the second one was really bright, really colourful, and this one is as well. But it's still good. I liked it. So that's my recommendation. If you've seen the first Pacific Rim, then I think you're gonna like this. If some people seem to forget, they just want to forget. It's like there wasn't a second film. There was never no second film, and I know the feeling. I do that with other things as well. But yeah, I'd recommend it. Pacific Rim. They keep mentioning the black as well. That subtitle. I don't know what it is. I'm a bit confused. Unless I completely miss something, I have no idea. It's something they reference early, like the army do it. They're like, oh, they're initiating the black or something, and then the people in the desert, they mention it. It's like, oh, you have to get used to that in the black. It's like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. Does that mean was there something they did sort of wipe out, destroy things in hopes of destroying the kaiju? I have no idea. I'm gonna have to look it up. Somebody tell me, please. um, yeah. So that's my thoughts on Pacific Rim: The Black. Um, Join me tomorrow where I'll be chatting about Mortal Kombat, because this video's gone out tonight on Wednesday, and I'm either at the cinema or I'm about to leave to go to the cinema to watch Mortal Kombat. And yeah, I hope I got a lot to talk about, if I'm not too tired. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought of this show as well. I know it might be on, it's been on for a while, but yeah, if you've watched it, let me know what you think. And try not to spoil things, please. This is a no spoiler zone. But, okay, so just chill. Yeah. Also, there was one bad thing. There was no theme. The theme, if you know what I'm talking about, the Pacific Rim theme, if you know what I'm talking about, and if you love it as much as I do, and you hated the abysmal remix that was in the sequel film, I have not heard it in this. I think they tried to do some variant of it. I think I heard it somewhere, but I wasn't hearing it. That the theme is just so cool. I love it. Where is it? Just keep bringing that. That is the Pacific Rim theme. Keep that as the theme. Put it in everything that's Pacific Rim. Oh, I just don't get it. Oh, I don't know. But yeah, it's a good show. I liked it. Animation's good. The action's good. The characters are good. It's funny. It's heartwarming. It's tense. Very tense sometimes. And quite sad. But it's all around. It's a good show. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you tomorrow. You'll see me. No, you listen. I'll talk tomorrow and you'll listen. Hopefully. Thanks. Bye-bye.